Hi guys, welcome to Lasa. Today we're going to do the assembly of the CASA-SGL. Let's get to it. Let's open this box up. Okay, so in here you're gonna have part E, which is your stoppers, part A, some of your long screws, part G, which is shorter screws, then you're gonna have part F, which would be 4 of those screw-ins for the feet, part H, which is your Allen keys. You're gonna have 2 parts of part D, and then part E, which is your tapping screws, see there, and lastly you're gonna have part B, which is your thicker screws. Okay, so going to the manual to step 1, we're going to require parts 4 and 5, as well as parts 14, and then you're going to require your G screws, and then also you'll require a Phillips screwdriver. This you're going to have to organize yourself. Right, so guys, what we want to do is we're going to start by taking apart the 14s to break them loose. So, taking apart this, you will then notice on the insides you would have written CR or CL, indicating left and right. Okay, so you want to take them apart. You then want to start with your 4 G screws, which you've taken out, and then your Phillips screwdriver. So, making sure part 14 is into part 5 on that second hole to line up with the actual hole. Okay, then you want to take your small G screws in. Once they're in, you tighten. Right? So you're going to want to tighten about 90% of the way, not fully in, so that the alignment of the actual rail can be centralized. Okay, you're then going to continue putting your screw in to the second one. Okay, we're going to proceed with the second one. Okay, moving to step 2, you're going to require pieces 6 and 7, as well as screw A's, and then you're going to require your Allen keys, which is part H. Okay, so you're also going to need the part 4, which we just assembled now. Okay, so let's just get this Allen key out of its package. Use this Allen key. Right? Okay, and make sure that the grooves are aligned. When the grooves align, the screw holes should align as well. can see, tightening, and you can continue and see while these two parts start gaining form. We finished with part 7. We want to put in part 6. Right, these holes once again. In these holes, we want to align up to these 2 holes just under the wheel of the roller. Okay, so you're going to use your A screws and the smaller H Allen key to then put it through. Right, this would be the end of step 2. The product should look something like this at this moment. Okay. Continuing with step 3, you would then need your part 5, which you then assemble. You're going to require once again 4 of your A screws and the smaller Allen key. Okay, so once again, paying attention to the direction of this actual groove in part 4 that I've then linked up to part 7's groove of part 5. Lining up the 4 holes on part 7 and part 6 to part 5. In so doing, completing step 3. This is the top view of how the product should look. As you can see, all 4 of these are aligned on both sides, and the grooves for 4, 5, and 7 all aligned. Okay. For step 4, you're going to require piece 8, which is the thinner piece of wood. So using this, you will then see, as mentioned, the grooves that are aligned from part 5, 7 and part 4. With then putting part 8 sideways, you then should be able to just gently slide it in with no resistance into them to align. Right. With step 5, you then would need part E, which is the wooden stoppers. Once again, we're going to be using screw A and the smaller Allen key. So using part 3, you will notice on these ones that they have 2 holes in each of these corners, and on the other side just a single hole. So what you're going to do is you're going to firstly put aside part 3 and open up the corkscrew of E. So on this part that we've already developed, you'll see the 2 different sizes of holes as we zoom in here. We have the bigger hole and the smaller hole. So the bigger hole on all 4 of these corners will be where we insert one of these wooden stoppers. So we're going to insert one in each of the sides. Okay, so once it's been inserted into there, it should look something like this. On to step 6, we're then going to take our part 3 and the side, which the holes, 2 holes on each side. We are going to align those holes and the groove once again with the piece number 8 we just inserted in the last step. We're going to put it in there using 8 as the guide. We're going to align all of the holes to make sure it's a sleek fit on all sides. The underneath getting a small overlap, as you can see. Once that's been done, we're then going to take out 4 A screws, as you can see here. 4 of them once again, and on this side, like mentioned, there will be 4 holes where we're going to insert it. The rest of them to ensure nice sleek fit. Okay, you can tighten it all. Okay. Step 7. You're then going to require your legs, which is then part 1. You're going to require 2 of those. You're also going to require the feet for the base of the legs, which is part F, which should be 4 pieces. And then also you're going to require these thicker screws, which is part B, and you're going to require a thicker Allen key. What we're going to do is we're going to set it upright for a moment, and then we're going to want to align the legs with the holes on the sides, as you can see. Okay. Once this is tightened, you can then tighten it a little bit more, not tighten it too much. Okay, so we've installed the one side of the legs. We now will begin with the other. So once this one's done, your product should have a look something like this. It should be able to stand, it should be reasonably sturdy. Okay. Step 8. We're going to require part 9, which you can see has a groove in there. We're also going to be using part 11 and 12. So once again, making sure to align the grooves at the bottom. We're going to begin with part 9, where we're going to take screw C's. So in screw C's, this piece would be the tightener, and this piece would be the piece which is be screwed. Right, we're going to be taking out 4 of them, and then we're going to once again be using your Phillips screwdriver and putting them in, and then making Okay, so once part 9 is done, it should look something like this. Starting with part 9, with the screws we just screwed in, we're going to align them into part 11 so that the grooves are at the bottom and these bigger holes are on the outside. So we're going to slide them into these holes make sure you slide them in straight so that they are able to get firm. You should see the screws out the other end. So using this, what you will then do is take the smaller ones as shown and take them and then just tighten them in. Should give you something of an L shaped. You will then start with your part 12. Okay, so your finished part should give you something like this. For step 8, you're then going to proceed on to doing the second part of 11 and 12 to complete the 2 drawers. Now I have these 2 drawers which are halfway built, and the actual stand should be standing up now. So moving on to step 9, you're going to require 2 number 13s for either drawers. You're also going to require your A screws once again. In number 13 into the grooves. You're going to require your part 10, which you're going to make sure the groove once again is at the bottom. Okay, proceed to do the same for drawer 2 so that you have 2 complete drawers. Okay, so to complete 9, once you've assembled, you're also going to require our part D, which is the actual handles for the drawers. They should look something like this, which should be a handle with a screw. So what you're going to do is, on the side you should see a hole on the outside. What you're going to do is going to insert it there, or you're going to push the screw through and then holding on, you can then screw it in. Once it's been screwed on, you can then flip it and then holding the handle on the outside, what you want to do is then tighten it. This will bring us to the completion of step 9 on the item. You should have 2 completed drawers, about 95% complete, and the drawer. For step 10, you're then going to require part 2, which has 4 screw-in holes on each corner. You're also going to require 4 screws of B, and then your thicker Allen key. Okay, starting by turning the drawer over, we're then going to position part 14 to the fourth hole on the front side, with the wheel being at the back. They're going to position in the screw and then make sure to tighten. Okay. So once it's tightened in place, you'll automatically see that your back hole aligns with the third hole here. You can then start with the other one. For step 11, we're going to insert the drawers, making sure there's a good sliding movement and no resistance. This means that you built it according to the instructions. Thank you for watching this video of the assembly of the CASA-SGL. Visit www.lasa.africa for more of our wonderful products that's easy to assemble.